Hey you guys, thanks for coming to this video. So today I'm going to be talking about the best highlighters to use for textured or mature skin. A lot of people cannot figure out how to get like a more blinding highlight. I struggled with it when I first started trying things out and I was like, why can't I get it to show up? What is going on here? Most of us aren't Instagram models with like this baby smooth skin where we just like swipe things on and it's just like, bah, like beaming, blinding highlight, you know? So I thought I would share my favorite picks for more textured skin because I definitely have a lot of pores and texture going on my skin, especially in my cheek area. So I thought I'd share my tips with you guys. If you guys want to know the best highlights to use, then let's get into it. So I definitely just wanted to talk a little bit about like what highlight has become. It has become like this crazy in your face trend that's just very blinding. Like sometimes I'm like, yes, I love it. Especially in pictures it looks really, really good. But sometimes in real life we get this like thick just line of like powdery, like either gray or pink or like gold, and it just shows up this weird stripe and it doesn't look good. So the main thing is just not going overboard, just knowing when is enough. A lot of times if you're using a highlight that will not be a blinding highlight and you have textured skin, it's just not going to work. It's just going to look powdery. You're not going to get that, you know, highlighting effect. I just wanted to share my favorite highlights with you guys because I do have a lot of pores in this area. So it was a struggle for me to figure out how to get a highlight to show up because I would do everything that they did in the videos and I would look on YouTube and be like, I got that same highlight and I used that same brush and it's not looking that way. For one thing, when you have lights, it does reflect the light a lot more than in natural light. Keep in mind in video and pictures it will look different than in just natural light. So I'm just going to show you some of my favorite highlighters to use that have really helped me and that I reach for all the time because it does give me that effect that I'm looking for. Now I know this type of highlight is not for everybody. Don't worry if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. A lot of people probably see me and they're like, whoa, that girl's highlights a lot. But you know what? I like it and that's all that matters. Let me show you my favorite things. So you've probably heard me talk about Becca highlights if you've watched any of my other videos. My favorite one being Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill. It's just the perfect balance of like champagne and gold and beige. Of course, it's broken. I have broken this same highlight like several times. I think I've repurchased it. I think this is the third one and I keep breaking it and it's so sad and I'm like, why do I keep breaking it? I don't know, but let me swatch it for you. But anytime I use Becca highlighters, it just looks so gorgeous. So you can see how it's just so beautiful and kind of more metallic and gives you that really shiny effect. So I also have Moonstone, which is lighter. It's gonna be, this is more a good highlight for lighter skin tones, and you could tell I've used it a lot. It's like almost gone. I also have Prosecco Pop, which is more gold than Champagne Pop. So you can see the three highlights there. So this one is the Prosecco Pop, we have Champagne Pop, and then Moonstone. So you can see they're just very reflective, and this is just my dry arm. I don't even have moisturizer on. This formula is just so creamy. They're just so beautiful, and they are $38 each, but I really do feel like if you're looking for something and you just cannot find it in a cheaper price point, that Becca is just, it's not going to disappoint. They have gorgeous shades, and as long as you find the right shade for you, you'll probably use it all the time. It'll just be your go-to and you'll definitely use it. So it's definitely worth the investment. Another one of my favorites is the Oprah highlights. I think they're more like $22 to $24 each, so they're a little cheaper, but they're so gorgeous. So I have Rodeo Drive, which is a more golden tone Here I have Pillow Talk, which this is a mini. It's so cute. And it's more of a pinky, which this is what I have on my inner corner right now. I've also been obsessed. I've been using this like every day. This is the Oprah and Madison Miller highlight and blush set, but I use these two highlights all the time. Like I keep reaching for them. It's just something about, it's kind of, this one's a little more golden and this one's a little more pink, but like I mix them together and it just gives me such a beautiful glow. I cannot stop using these. So I'll swatch these for you. They're just so like buttery. All right, so here we have Rodeo Drive, the more golden one. Next to it is Pillow Talk, the more pinky. And then these two are from the Madison Miller palette. And they're just so pretty. I'm obsessed with how blinding they are and just, I don't know, I just love them. So another brand that I'm obsessed with is Pure. And this is the only shade I have of a highlight. I think it's Afterglow. I don't think I have any others. I do have the Barbie one, but that's more pink, so I don't use that often. But this, oh, it's so pretty. This is my go-to for my inner corner highlight. I do have the more pinky one on today. But any other day, like if I'm not doing a pink look, you know, this is just a neutral, like it goes with everything. I usually just use this as an inner corner highlight, but I can use it on my cheeks too. And it's so gorgeous. And I'm sure they have other shades too that are really pretty, but this is the one that I am obsessed with. So you can see that right there. It's just a very light, like beigey golden shade, but it's very light. So if you're a deeper skin tone, this is not going to work for you. And I'm not sure the price. I think that's like in the $20 range also, but just so pretty. And I know those are all expensive highlights, but I feel like there's nothing really at the drugstore that comes close to those. They do have a lot of great options. I will say that I have found things, but just those formulas are so buttery smooth that I can't stop using them. Like you know, drugstore or not, doesn't really matter to me. It's how they perform. And those ones I just keep reaching for all the time because I know no matter what I'm using, no matter what brush I'm using, no matter, you know, if my skin's dry or not, it always just looks so beautiful. So next I wanted to talk about for more mature skin, like an all over type of glow or just a more subtle highlight. So these ones are just gonna be just kind of like that all over, like glowing, like lit from within, not really glowing, just kind of, just give you like this all over, just beautiful, kind of reflective, I don't even know, like just something that just kind of helps smooth everything out, but it looks beautiful on smooth skin. If you have some texture going on, if you have more mature skin with some wrinkles, like it's not going to accentuate all the bad things. It just kind of deflects the light and, you know, just makes it look smoother somehow. So the first one and the more expensive one that I'll talk about is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. This is in the shade Luminous Light, and yes, I've used almost all of it. It's just so beautiful for just either an all-over glow, like I said, or you can just kind of focus it on the high points of your face. And it's not going to be the blinding highlight like I have on. It's just going to be just kind of this gorgeous, healthy looking glow. There's no other way to describe it. So I'm going to try to swatch it. These kind of powders don't swatch as well because there's not a whole lot going on. Like you can barely even see that, which of course you don't pile it on your face like that, but it just has the slightest amount of like this luminosity. And all of they have so many different shades, and just you can find your shade in whatever they have. They have bronzers and blushes too, which I've actually never tried. I'm not sure the price on this. Probably like upper 30s is what I'm thinking. It is a more pricey highlight, but it's just gorgeous. Another similar one, which I had, don't know where it went, is the Laura Mercier all over glow kind of things. I'm not exactly sure what it's called because I don't have it in front of me, but they're very similar in that they just kind of give you this really beautiful glow to the skin without shimmer, without glitter, without being too metallic and too blinding. It just, like, this kind of thing is perfect for like brides if you want just a nice glow, but you don't want to go overboard and do the whole like highlight beam thing on your face. These powders are just so gorgeous. So the Laura Mercier one is a very similar one, and it's probably a little cheaper than this one, but it is a higher end brand, so it is more expensive. But I do have dupes for those, and they are very affordable. So these are from Essence is this one, and Elf is this one. So I believe this one's like $3 or $4 and this one's probably $5. They're very similar. I wouldn't say they're as good of quality as the Hourglass or Laura Mercier, but you definitely can get a very similar look. You can see there, it just gives this like nice subtle glow. So this is the Essence one and this is the Elf one. They're very similar, but it gives you a very similar look for just a couple bucks. So again, it's not going to emphasize texture. It's not going to emphasize fine lines. As long as you go in with a light hand, you don't want anything too powdery, too, you know, caked on there, because that's never good. So I'm going to do Rodeo Drive from Oprah, and I'll just kind of swirl my brush in there, flick it off a little bit, nothing crazy, and just kind of show you guys how blinding these highlights are. And keep in mind, I do have a lot of pores and texture on my skin. I'm not someone who has baby soft smooth skin, but you know, and that's definitely a lot heavier than I like to do in natural everyday life. But for photos or for video, if you want that blinding look, these are the highlights to get. So I'm going to go in with Moonstone from Becca on the other cheek. So this is Moonstone. So you can see it gives you more of that more vanilla beige shade. And this is the more golden shade. But just like if you want that pop, this is how you do it. So definitely in real life, I would blend this out a lot. I'd probably take my beauty sponge and go over it, and you can definitely tone it down, get it to blend out and look a little more natural. But just to show you guys how crazy that is. And also I'll take a little bit of the pure one just on my finger and go on my nose a little bit, just to do a little more nose highlight. So highlighting is such a crazy trend right now, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. I'm obsessed with it. Like I said, you know, you don't have to like it. That's fine if you're not into it. If you guys want a more detailed video on how I apply it, the brushes I use, the steps I do to make it look more natural and more smooth, if you guys want a video on that, I could do a dedicated video on, you know, more how I highlight and what I do to make it look the best. But this was just the highlights I love to use. So that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to be filming again after not filming for a couple weeks. Let me know in the comments if you have any video requests, or let me know also your favorite highlighters to use, because maybe I haven't used them. I haven't used them all. There's a ton out there. So tell me your favorite highlighters and I'll have to check them out, and I will see you in the next one.